The Philadelphia Eagles are in first place in the NFC East at 3-4-1 after beating the Dallas Cowboys 23-9 on Sunday Night Football. And the Eagles were losing 9-7 at halftime. Then they gained the lead in the third quarter when Carson Wentz connected with Travis Fulgham for the 9-yard touchdown, which was then followed by a 2-point conversion, which gave them the 15-9 lead. Then in the fourth quarter, they scored again when TJ Edwards strip sacked Cowboys quarterback Ben DiNucci, which was returned by Rodney McLeod for a 53-yard touchdown to give them the 21-9 lead, followed by a safety, which gave Ralton the final score, Eagles 23, Cowboys 9. And while the Eagles are in first place in the NFC East, their performances in their games this season have not inspired confidence that this is a team ready for another championship, particularly another Super Bowl. That's what I'm referring to. This is not a team ready for another Super Bowl. And while they are on a 2-game win streak headed into their bye week next week at week 9, this team is a wreck, let's face it. Because if you've been watching the Eagles games and you see how they've been playing, you've been seeing all the turnovers with Carson Wentz constantly overthrowing receivers, a lot of the poor decision making. Like I said, overthrowing receivers, which leads to a lot of interceptions. And also a lot of times where Carson Wentz holds onto the ball way too long, which is resulted in him fumbling the ball 7 times this season. And also other factors such as their poor play calling. And also you see their defense has been struggling at times. So even though they've won their last 2 games, their performances have been pretty bad. I mean, you've still seen a lot of questionable play calling in their last 2 games against the Giants and Cowboys. You had Jake Elliott miss a 29-yard field goal against the Giants. And their defense has either been doing just enough or benefiting from certain plays. Like remember against the Giants. Well, the Giants were setting themselves up in position to run out the clock. Evan Ingram dropped an open pass, which could have gave the Giants another field goal and gave them time to run out the clock, which could have changed the outcome of that game. And then last night when they played the Cowboys, they were playing a team with their third-string quarterback, Ben DiNucci. And they had a lot of luck going in their favor playing against the Cowboys' third-string quarterback. Because let's face it, the Eagles' offense scored only 15 points against the worst defense in the NFC East. The worst defense in their entire division. 15 offensive points against the worst defense in their division. Because remember, the 8 points in the fourth quarter were off the strip sack return for a touchdown and the safety. So that's 15 points against the worst defense in their division and the worst defense against all the teams they played. And don't forget, too, that Eagles offense also struggled against the Giants until those final 2 drives when they were able to pull that comeback off in that Thursday night game, their previous game. So while they are in first place in the division, let's not forget 2 of their wins have come against their division. Yet the Cowboys and the football team only have 2 wins. Giants have 1 win going in tonight against the Buccaneers, which that looks like another loss for the Giants. But when you look, but any note, that's where the Eagles are in first place in that division. And if you look at the way they played all season, they gave up 27 points after leading 17-0 week 1 against all the football team, losing to the Rams and playing sluggishly. I mean, they had a chance of a comeback early in the second half, but they played sluggishly most of the game. They ended up losing. They tied the Bengals week 3. Remember, they had a shot at getting in field goal range to set up a field goal in overtime, but then 2 penalties knocked them out of field goal range. Week 4, they barely beat an injury-riddled 49ers team. Well, they also got some help from 49ers starting quarterback in the game, Nick Mullins, playing poorly. When Mullins got benched for C.J. Beathard, so they benefited from that. Then they lost to the Steelers and the Ravens. But then, like illustrated, barely beating the Giants and the Cowboys. So let's face it, honestly, while the Eagles are in first place, they could very well win the NFC East. This is not a championship winning team. This is not a Super Bowl winning team. Unless the Eagles make drastic changes, such as getting younger at skill positions, letting go some of their veteran players that keep getting injured repeatedly, trying to having a good draft where they bring in new players and they actually use those new players and allow them the opportunity to get better. And you can say that happened with Miles Sanders last year, yes, but there's also a lot of other draft picks that have barely gotten playing time. Since Andre Dillard barely got playing time last year, and this year he's out with an injury. They drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round to be a gadget guy, which he's only being used frequently, and so far it's not going that well. Though, but they drafted someone early with the intention of being a gadget guy, not someone who's going to be, they see being there long term. You got not being there long term, but being in the game consistently. Well, they also have to allow these guys more playing time. Make sure when these guys are healthy, let them get playing time. Let them get better. That's what worked with Miles Sanders. And Miles Sanders hasn't played good when he's healthy. They need to do more of that with their draft picks. And bringing in players either through draft or free agency that can stay healthy throughout the season. Because those are things the Eagles need to start doing and things that they can do different. But I can get into that subject at the end of the season. So, any note though, with everything I've said though, with the Eagles playing sloppy, poor playing calling on the offensive side, a lot of turnovers, beating teams that they're favorite to beat in sloppy fashion. This does not look like a team that's going to be going much further. The farthest they're going to go is to win the NFC East, possibly with a 7-8-1 record, or maybe an 8-7-1 record at best. So you guys let me know what you think, comment below, what you agree, disagree with, what you think the where the Eagles stand, what you think they should do in the future. Also like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Nikki C signing off. Peace.